here streaming Nekojima live. I got out early this Friday, so I thought it'd be a fun chance to play a solo game. The weather is beautiful, so I thought we would spend the day trying to see if we could build some electrical poles and hang cats from them. So, for those that have not played before, the object of the game, we have these different poles in 3 different colors, and every round I am going to be rolling these 2 dice. If you're playing with other people, you can either play competitively or cooperatively, but since it's just me today that's out early, I'm going to play by myself. So my goal is to see how far along this tracker I can get. So each turn I am going to roll these 2 dice, and then I need to place a pole in a quadrant that matches the colors on here. So what color pole I place is going to depend on the cube that I draw out of this little bag right here. So I have a pink cube, so I need to place a pink pole somewhere on a blue quadrant and a quadrant of my choice. The pink ones apparently are the shortest, the white poles are a little bit longer, and the blue poles are the longest. I am playing with the bird's nest variant, which means that my poles can only be stacked a maximum of 2 poles on top of each other. So I kind of have to think about how I'm placing things. I think I'm going to try to work from the inside out, at least in some way, shape, or form, to try to keep it. You are allowed to kind of twist up the wires to try to shorten them. However, they cannot be wrapped around the pole. So once you're replacing them, I am also going to try to play where I do not touch the wires at all. That is kind of the goal, but we'll see how it goes as I'm filming. You have a top-down view of this, so it might be kind of interesting looking. Let's see. We're going to start with putting this big tall pole somewhere on the outer edge, and then we'll put the shorter pole on the inside. You may see that there are some cats over here. There are black cubes in the bag, and if at any point I draw a black cube, I then need to hang a cat from whatever other color cube I pull that round. So right now I don't need to hang any cats, which is great because the cats are quite tricky. So I'm going to take my little pink cube, add it over here, and move on to the next turn. Alright, so now we have a blue and a green. Let's see what color. We have another pink one. So you'll notice some of the pinks are a lot shorter. So this one might actually be a great way to try to like sneak it underneath. The wires cannot touch. They are electrical. We do not want to cause any sort of like electrical problems. So I'm going to try twisting this up before I put it on the board and see if I can get it to stay. I don't want it to be too tight because then I worry that it's just going to fall over. So maybe we'll let it untangle just a little. All right. And then I'm going to sneak this short one right under there. And then try to put that right here and keep them nice and close. So my wires are not touching. We are good. We are going to add our pink cube onto here. And for solo mode, I'm just trying to see how far along this I can get. Previously, I only got to 2.5, so there is definitely a lot of progress to be had. This is one of the trickier ones where you have 2 of the same color. That means they do need to go in the same quadrant, but they cannot stack on top of each other. So we pulled out a white. So we're going to put that on here. And let me see my white pile. I think I might try to go for ones that are kind of close in height. So I think we're going to maybe do this. And given it's just the whites, I'm going to stick them on the outside here and kind of hope for the best. You're also never allowed to place these with the knots down on the bottom. They do always have to be on the top. And wires can never hang off the board. Poles can never be off the board. So we're kind of just going to get this as close to the end without being off as possible. And so far, we still have not drawn any cats, which is going a lot better than my last game because, all right. So for the daggers, in a typical game, that's going to trigger for your fellow players to do something for you. But for me, what it means is I have to place it in the section across. So I need to place it in the purple and in the blue this section. So let's see what color cube we got. All right, we drew our first cat here. So I'm going to have to pick a cat, and we're going to pretend I did not hit that with the board. Typically, if you knock anything over, you are out. But I hit that more from trying to keep this on the camera rather than stacking problems. All right, we got another cube, so we're going to have 2 cats and a white thing. All right, so we're going purple to blue with white, and we need 2 cats. I can put the cats on any white pole. It does not have to be the one I just placed. What I'm trying to figure out is, do I want to keep my poles close or more spread out? I kind of like having the blue ones next to each other. I feel like there's a good thing happening over here. So I think we're going to aim for this. Okay. Now, I gotta pick my cats. So some of these cats, aka this cat, is a lot harder to place than the ones that have the little like loops on them. So I'm gonna start with an easier cat, and maybe a more challenging cat as well, just so that way I can try to get them out of the way, because I don't really want to get stuck with two of these guys at the very end. So I've been trying to figure out the best way to connect him, and I think it's kind of along the lines of very gently. There we go. All right, he's on. Now let's take a little cat, because we're still pretty close to the ground. I think he will work. Oh no! And we lost. It is that easy to kill your thing. So as you can see, I did not go further than my previous attempt. So that is Nekojima in a nutshell. I am going to do another round now, just because that was pretty short. So if you would like to see it and see if we can make it beyond that, please feel free to stick around. I'm just going to reset. Cleanup's really easy. You're literally just going to separate your poles by color, put your cubes back in the bag, and you are ready to go again. So without further ado, let's roll those dice, see what we get. All right, we have a red and a color of our choice, and we got a blue this time. So let's take, we're going to try something different this round, because the tall ones were not working so great for me. Actually, this is a really long thing. Maybe I will stick with the taller ones for this, because I feel like they're easier to start with. Let's get some height. So we're gonna go red to purple or green. Let's do red to green. Alright, so we're on the board. Can we get further than we did last round? So now we have a red and a blue, and our... I really need to stop that. I promise it is not me cheating. It is literally just me struggling to try to keep this on the camera. Alright, take two. So we have another blue. I'm going to try to pull these from this side going forward. We'll see if that helps. So what did we say? A blue and a red. Okay. So to keep things interesting, let's go with a taller to a shorter. And we'll go with that one. Okay. So we're on there. We need to roll again. Two reds. These dice really like red today. All right, we're going for white, so we have a slightly shorter pole. So something I didn't get to show you before is the stacking on top of things. So I need to go from a red to a red. So I can either stick things on my pre-existing reds, onto the ground, onto whatever, but both pieces need to be in the red. So I told you I am playing with the variant of you can only stack two things on it at once. So I'm gonna do this over here. Build that up. My wires are not touching, so we are good. And now it has two on top of it, so I'm going to stick a little bird's nest to indicate I cannot add anything else to that particular tower. All right. We got red and blue. These cats are being nice. Oh, I spoke too soon. We will be having a cat this round. And the cat will be going on... Oh, we have two cats. The double cats are always a challenge. All right, we have a white. So at least it wasn't pink, because that would be our only option. So we need to go red to blue, and we need to hang two cats on them. I think I want something not too tall, but not too short either. Debating if I want to put like a big guy in the middle and a smaller one on the bottom. I think that would be kind of too hard to balance on, but something like this could be interesting. If I go like that. All right, so we're building upward. We're gonna probably hit the camera. We haven't had that happen yet. All right, so we need two cats to go on my strings here. We're gonna just hang you right there. And there's a large gap under him right now. So maybe we can hang, nope, that is gonna be too heavy. But hang it in the middle. You wouldn't think that these cats weigh a lot, but they are actually made of a very sturdy material. The chipboard is a lot sturdier than I would expect, and that is what happens. Now, we are learning how to do this. So place your cats more carefully than I am, because they're going to keep falling otherwise. So we're still at 2.5. I think we should try for one more time and see if we can get it up any higher. If you have any tips and tricks for how to make this work more successfully than I am currently doing, please let me know in the comments. I'm also kind of hoping that I just play with people that are better at stacking things than I am, but you know, we will see. All right, so we got 2 daggers. I honestly don't remember what those mean from the instructions, and I'm too lazy to pull them out right now. So we're gonna go with that instead. All right, our first cube is going to be pink. So my attempt of stacking tall things initially is not going great, so we're gonna change it up, and we're gonna stack short things. We're gonna go right here, little short, and we'll see if that goes any better. So I need to go purple and blue, and I need another pink. Let's go over it. Maybe off to the side in case I need to build up. I really do like how quick this game is, though. It says 15 minutes on the box. That seems pretty correct. I forgot to roll for this round, so we're going to do that right now. Okay. So we have red and any color I want. And it needs to be a blue one. Remember, blue have longer cords. So I think what I might actually try to do is, like, stretch this over a ways and see if I can... Nope. See, that's going to be too close. About one like this. Okay, so this is a good example of these wires would be really close to touching. So if I tighten you up just a little bit, I might be able to avoid that. Nope. I will say the tightening them up, it helps, but then it also makes it a lot easier for things to fall over. When there's less tension between them, it seems like they are a little bit steadier. All right, so another red in any color we want. We have a cat this round, and we have a blue. All right, so this blue, probably gonna be hard to hang on because I made it kind of tight and twisty. So let's see if we can go for something that might be a little bit easier. I'm thinking this guy might be good. We can go nice and tight. We can't have that hanging out of the thing. Okay, so wires are not touching, nothing's hanging out. This is too high, so I will put that on there. And by 2, I mean TWO, not TOO. Alright, I need a cat. We're going to pick an easy cat this time, or at least the cat I think is going to be the easy cat. He's the little baby. He's just going to hang right there. We have successfully added a cat, which is more than I can say for previous rounds. Also, sorry about the weird focus situation over here. I don't really know how to adjust this as I have it kind of hanging on a tripod. Alright, we need a blue and a purple. Let's go. Got a blue. So now, here's a good one where I'm like, I might want to go up and over because I need to go to blue, I need to go to purple. Alright, this does not look very sturdy to me. This looks a little like it's fallen everywhere. Maybe the middle guy. Alright, we're added. These are now both at 2. So these guys cannot have any more. This variant is coming in very handy for filming because you won't be able to see much higher than that anyway. All right, we have a red and a purple. Let's see. We got a cat block and we got a pink. So now we got to go from red and purple. Thankfully, those are next to each other. The pinks are pretty short, so that could potentially work out well for us. I'm thinking about trying to finagle this through here, and we're gonna hope for the best. Okay, we're on. We are on. Okay, and this one is gonna get a bird's nest. Phew. All right, and I need to add a cat now. I don't know how I feel about this. We're gonna be a chicken and use the little baby cat again. And actually, we'll use a slightly bigger cat. Let's see if I can set him in here. No. Dang it! Alright. So, as you can see, I still only made it to the top of 2. I actually don't even know if we count those because it fell before I added that cat. But this is Nekojima. It's really cute. Fun to play by yourself. I imagine it would be a lot of fun to play with others as well. If you are interested in more content like this, please feel free to let me know in the comments. Let me know if you've played, how far you're able to make it. And otherwise, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy your weekend. Bye!